I'm not your guy, just thoughts on taste on this wild ride. Welcome to the sound of Minds Unchained, talking live from the basement stage. It's a podcast pulpit, bug on.
Welcome to episode 39 of There's Always an Answer podcast.
We've got a special episode for you guys today.
We're going to do our part 1, part 2.
This is episode 39, part 1.
We're going to do an early release.
Early release.
But if you're listening to this, you know that.
Yeah, we're going to promote it. Yeah,
we're going to let you know.
You're going to know ahead of time.
We're going to go because our first topic of conversation is going to be about...
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's topical, and there's always an answer.
There is always an answer.
Yeah. So, with that said, I guess we'll just get into it. You know,
we just got to dive right in.
More about this than I do. I've done a little bit of research. You have been at the forefront of the information on this one.
I got boots on the ground.
If you want to, I guess, give a little bit of background on what we're going to talk about first, and then we'll go into it from there.
So, a little bit of a tough topic today. If you guys, get on the internet at all or anything, I'm sure you have seen or heard through the grapevine, there is a missing persons case regarding the Today co-anchor, Savannah Guthrie. Her mother, Nancy Guthrie.
Is it Guthrie or Guthrie? Have we decided?
I'm going to go with Guthrie. I'm going to
go with Guthrie because that's what I think it is.
But at this time, it is believed she was forcibly taken from her home. Today, so we're recording this today, and at the time of recording,
they don't know what today is.
Today is Saturday.
Yeah.
Today is Saturday, February 7th, and as of today, February 7th, she has been missing for 6 days.
6 days, yeah. Now, when this comes out, she'll be either more news or be missing for
hopefully
a few
it's
more
good
days.
news.
We don't know.
Hopefully it's good news.
Yeah.
But it appears she was forcibly taken from her home. They did find there was some blood on the front porch. That blood did come back and test positive as her blood.
Right.
There was also a Ring camera on the front. That Ring camera has since been destroyed and or is missing. One of the or could be both. Well, obviously it's both. But
and this is something that we debated even talking about because it's such a sensitive subject. And how do you do it when you're a very unserious podcast, but do it in a tasteful manner.
Right.
So.
And I think we agreed kind of like what you were saying. There's an answer.
There's an answer.
There's got to be an answer.
And unfortunately, we will find out one way or another what the answer, comes out to be. It just brought up a lot of, it reminded me a lot of the Gabby Petito case.
I would agree.
Now, this was a young gal that, she went on an adventure. She was going to do a lot of internet, social media. She wanted to be
a taken off
influencer and all that. And so the cases aren't similar, but the sensationalism around it is similar.
Yeah.
It went, for lack of a better term, viral. Got nationwide attention. Everybody followed the case. They wanted to know where's Gabby.
I was one of them.
Right. We all follow,
I was one of
if we were doing the podcast at that time, we would have covered it as well, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So
the internet with the Gabby Petito case really, in my eyes, in my opinion, the internet really helped solve that case.
I think it put a lot of pressure on the officers, the investigators, to find a conclusion, find closure for that case as quick as possible.
Yeah. Well, and it also, with that, it helped. Well, so like with it gaining social media attention and traction and everything like that, like you said, for lack of a better term, viral moment.
It went viral. Now, why these certain cases, there's people that are missing all the time, why these certain ones go viral and get this media attention, get this America's attention is
and it is
weird how
shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking. But what are the facts of the case that get this type of attention versus others that do not. I don't know that. But it's just an interesting perspective. Like if I went missing or if you went missing, would we get the same attention to, you know, that these folks are getting? Of course, this case now is an anchor woman for a nationwide NBC
been the co-main
show
anchor since 2012.
Right.
And that is Savannah Guthrie with the Today Show.
Right.
She's also the co-host for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah. So that is something I can see maybe why that would get more attention because it's already a nationwide person of interest.
Yeah.
You know, she's in the media. She's in the, you know, consciousness of America that watch that type of TV still.
Right.
I do streaming. I had not heard of her until this case, but obviously a lot more people. I'm not in tune with, you know, the rest of the world maybe as I should be. There's a lot of distractions in the world today. So that is maybe why I had not heard of this person until now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get the timeline pulled up here.
So I guess go ahead and go through that. This is the official report from the local sheriff's department on the timeline of what happened the night of the disappearance.
Well, and there's still so much. So, folks, please take some of this with
more things may be revealed in the time.
But literally, as we are recording this, more stuff could come out.
And unfortunately, we saw a video of a news report that was AI.
We did, and it was very believable.
Oh, it was, yeah. And we use AI because it gets us a lot of attention online to try and bring people in. I know there's a lot of people that don't like AI.
There's a time and place for it.
Right.
That was not the time or place.
What we were doing was for fun, trying to get because obviously we don't have a budget to make these little short skits.
Right.
I'd love to, but obviously we're not there. But this can make our imagination, our creativity show in a way that could not be done before. But this other is for nefarious reasons, I feel. Yeah. And it blamed, I'm not going to say who it blamed, but it blamed someone close to the victim's, life. Right. And that's not fair. And that would cause what they, guilty by, what do you call that? Public opinion. Yeah. Guilty by public opinion. And that's not fair to anybody. No. Not the victim, not the person that is being accused.
Right. So, Nancy Guthrie, she's an 84-year-old mother for Savannah Guthrie. The timeline officially starts February 1st, 2026. Mm-hmm. She was reported missing from her home in the Catalina foothills in Arizona. She was reported missing by a church member when she did not report for church that morning.
Beautiful home, by the way. They showed, aerial photo, street view, where cameras were, where floodlights were located on the house with motion sensors and stuff like that. Beautiful home, nice area. So it's definitely, I would think, out of the ordinary for the area.
Yeah. So, she was last seen at her home in the Catalina foothills just outside of Tucson, Arizona, on the evening of January 31st, 2026. She was dropped off by her son-in-law, Tommaso Ciani. Please forgive me if I am butchering the last name.
Yeah, just do Tommaso.
Yeah, by Tommaso at approximately 9:50 p.m.
Which is her son-in-law.
Yep, he is married to Guthrie's daughter, Annie.
Who is not the news anchor. For folks that are not, this is just the other sister.
Nancy has got 3 children, Savannah, Annie, and Cameron is the other one. Tommaso is the last known person to have seen her, alive. And she did not arrive for a scheduled church service that following morning, prompting concern. A member of her church contacted the family to report that she had not appeared as expected. Relatives went to her home around 11 a.m. to check on her, searched the house and surrounding property, and found no sign of her. At around noon, the family called 911 and reported her missing to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Deputies responding to the residents noted that Guthrie's personal belongings, including her phone and other essential items, were still inside the home. Given her limited mobility In the absence of any indication that she had left voluntarily, investigators immediately regarded the situation as more than a routine missing persons report. And here's a little bit of an official timeline as well for people listening. So Saturday, January 31st, 2026 at 5:32 p.m., she takes an Uber to her daughter Annie's home for dinner. And then at 9:48.
So, and you also said that this Uber driver is cooperating with the police department.
Yeah,
so he is not a suspect.
Correct. The Uber driver has been very forthcoming with it and, cooperating to the fullest extent to where they have actually came out and said they do not believe the Uber driver is a person of interest at this time.
Right.
So, and then at 9:48 p.m., she is dropped off by her son-in-law, Annie's husband, Tommaso. At 9:50 p.m., Guthrie's garage door closed, and Tommaso reportedly drives off at this time. At 1:47 a.m., February 1st, a doorbell camera at her home is disconnected. At 2:12 a.m., software detects someone on one of the other cameras, but no video is available. And the reason for that is there was not a paid subscription through Ring at that time, so the videos were not saved.
Yep. Unfortunately, that may have been the evidence that they needed to find out who did this.
Right.
But there's more to that story that we'll talk about.
And then at 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker, so she does have a pacemaker, and she has an app on her phone. At 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker app is disconnected. And then at 11 a.m., a churchgoer calls the family to report that she never made it to church. 11:56 a.m. is when the relatives arrive at the home and discover she is missing. And then at 12:03 p.m., they call the police. At 12:15 p.m., the police from the Pima County Sheriff's Department have arrived.
And that is the end of the timeline that has been
released
released so far.
Of the missing thing there.
We know that the FBI is involved now.
From what we are understanding and reading, it does appear the FBI has taken full control over this case.
And, they probably have tools at their disposal that we don't even know about, surveillance-wise, cell phone records and phone calls. And,
Right.
I think they can access quite a bit of that information.
And some of the people online, are talking, well, this is a surveillance world now. Everybody has these cameras.
Yeah.
What about neighbors?
Sure.
Well, if you looked at the aerial photos, she didn't really have a close neighbor.
They weren't very close, but if the neighbors did have
Could they see a car?
Could you at least see a car in that time frame? I know I have a Ring camera, my front yard, my backyard. I pay the subscription. Every car that goes by that isn't subsequent. So I'll have a car go by, it'll pop the camera, it will record that person going by, but then there's a grace period afterwards before it does it again. I want to say it's like 30 seconds.
Oh, really?
If another car goes next behind that other car, it will not record that next one. Also, if I live on a residential street, but I have a lot of speeders down my road, if a car is going too fast, the camera will not pick it up either.
Really?
So there is limitations to what a Ring camera can do. And I don't know if that's in this scenario or not, but
yeah,
I don't know if the police have released any kind of persons of interest as of yet.
They have no suspects at this time.
I am now following the subreddit because Reddit has amazing investigation. The people look at all the details, all the scenarios, and some of their theories have panned out in the past and have helped.
The Gabby Petito case is
for one example, which was a huge nationwide situation. So this has become that now.
That's
6 days,
actually how, a little bit off topic there, but that is how they ended up finding Gabby.
Right.
Was somebody seen the post online that, hey, if you've seen this van,
Yep.
And then a lady was like, we were there. We drove past that van. They ended up having a dash camera.
Yep.
And then at that point, they turned that over, and then they searched there, and that is when they found Gabby.
her. Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely,
the power of social media
can be for the good.
Astonishing.
It can be for the good.
It can.
I know this is a bit off topic, but I have posted things on Reddit, and sometimes I get a very good response. Sometimes I get downvoted and trashed online.
Oh yeah, I've been beat up.
It is a power of good and evil. Sometimes when the forces of good are behind something. That's why I go to Reddit.
Yeah.
So I did go, and Magic Mama 212, she posted a thing that, and here's the use of AI again, but it does give you kind of something to start on, you know. She plugged it into GPT, and it gave a percentage of likelihood of various scenarios. She gave it very specific instructions, directed it to Reddit, KOLD, which is the local news station, TMZ, and other key articles. Here's what it said. 3 most likely suspect types with likelihoods, the percentage that we were talking about. So the number 1, targeted ransom/extortion crew. Small, organized, not necessarily career kidnappers, but deliberate. 45% chance of that. And they give it a few reasons why. It's a best fit for A, a surveillance disruption timing, B, ransom messaging strategy, including to media, which they have done.
Sure.
Emphasis on proof of life dynamics noted by hostage negotiation experts. Number 2, home invasion/burglary crew that escalated into abduction, then used ransom as leverage or misdirection. They give it a 30% chance.
And we haven't touched on that. Still, this is the start of it, and everything.
Right.
Obviously a part 1 episode, but there has been from the alleged kidnappers that they have sent several media outlets ransom letters.
Absolutely. And someone has been arrested for a fake one already.
Yeah. They are demanding millions of dollars in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Which is untraceable is what the theory behind that is now.
Yeah. They are using because they're sending emails is what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they are using what we are assuming at this point in time, a VPN.
To distract from their IP address. Yeah.
They have sent 2 or 3 letters now. The most recent one, I think, was yesterday. And they have offered at this time no proof of life.
Right.
The first or second letter they indicated she is alive. She is aware of the demands that they are demanding, and she is scared.
And, I think that there is several reasons for asking for proof of life. Of course, you want to know that your loved one is still alive.
Right.
But also you hope that the kidnappers give away some kind of secret, some kind of clue as to
yeah, absolutely.
That is what I'm assuming, that they actually want a video evidence. You could look at your surroundings. You can see, if there's any kind of clue. There was a World War II, or maybe it was Cold War. I don't remember at this time. I'll have to look it up. But there was someone that was kidnapped, and they were doing a video showing proof of life. And this person that was kidnapped was actually blinking in Morse code to give some kind of clue as to where and what is happening in an actual, instead of what they're being told to say. So that is, I'm not saying that is an example. Well, that's just an example of what a person could do if you knew Morse code or some kind of signal of your whereabouts or your surroundings or sounds. You can even sounds in the background. If there's an echo, it could be in a cellar, where it's closed in cement, or if it's not, or you hear birds chirping, you hear something,
Right.
People that are bird experts could know the chirp of a bird, and maybe it's only in a certain region. You can narrow it down to something like that. So there is clues that can be, ascertained from this proof of life. You just hope that they give away something to get to that point.
Something that is odd with this case is that these ransom letters that they are sending out, there is no way to get back to them.
They haven't
they can't respond.
Yeah, that is something that may be a non-professional. Like they said, an extortion or ransom.
There's no way for them to respond.
Yeah,
but the thing is also, they, the family is wanting proof of life and, some other information pieces. And so, and these people, the second letter, they indicated that she is alive. So they're watching the news. They're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're demanding these millions of dollars in Bitcoin, but they're not saying where to send it.
Yeah.
How do you send the ransom?
Right. Well, I guess if you are contacting a TMZ, a local.
Well, they did. They sent a letter
Yeah.
to TMZ directly.
So they are maybe wanting for you to go on air and express what you're willing to do before they give away contact information.
That
I don't
very
know.
well could be.
So I'll go into the reasons why they think it's a possible burglary crew.
Yes, please do.
So that was the 30% chance they thought. Chat GTP thought. Best fit for a late night intrusion pattern and blood at the entry area, and the possibility that the person detected could reflect an encounter rather than a clean snatch and go. Number 3, insider adjacent actor. Now, they give this a 25% chance, but someone with routine access / knowledge, contractor, service worker, acquaintance, not a specific person. So this is best fit for getting close enough to disable, remove a doorbell camera, which is the case in this instance, and act within a narrow overnight window without immediately triggering attention. Also aligns with expert commentary that most abductions aren't truly random. 25% chance of that. So that is what ChatGTP thinks. The chances of each of those things, of course, more knowledge comes out, that changes the scenario quite a bit. Yeah. Those percentages would change the more news and facts as they come closer to the end of the case here. So, and it's funny how that all plays into it. So we will know more as time goes on. Yeah. Now, there already is quite a bit of internet conspiracy theories around the family. There are suspicious things that have happened that come out of the family. Now,
and to touch base on this, and I think the investigation is also questioning that as well. And let me get him pulled up here, because I don't want to misquote. I don't want to be I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
So.
His name is Brian Inton. He is a senior national correspondent with News Nation, and he is on the ground. He is out there in Arizona, and he is, near the home of Nancy Guthrie, and also near the home of Nancy's other daughter, Annie. So he did post 12 hours ago, as of this time, which is 10:15 a.m. So 12 hours ago, which obviously would have been February 6th. 3 deputies did arrive at Annie Guthrie's house. They were there for roughly an hour. They left. They did not go inside. And then just right before that, they had went to Nancy Guthrie's house, and they did tow away her car out of the garage.
Her vehicle out of the garage, correct.
Yeah. Which I wonder what made them do that.
Well, there was obviously
maybe some type of an evidence inside the car.
There must have been.
And that is another thing. They are keeping this very tight-lipped and hush.
Releasing minimal so that they can proceed with their investigation as they see fit.
And I completely understand that.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a case of this magnitude, and
it is now in the public eye of the nation, maybe the world.
And, obviously with the ransom notes being sent out, they're watching the news. They're watching what the family's doing.
Absolutely.
So they, I get why they're not releasing a whole lot, because they don't want them to know their next move.
Right. Well,
I get it.
The suspicions around the family. One of them is very bizarre, and it was that, is it Savannah, I believe, put out a statement that resembled a movie quote, which is very bizarre. And that was from Silence of the Lambs.
It was almost word for word the speech she gave.
Yeah. Do you want to quote? Do you have that pulled up still?
I don't, but I can.
So that is one thing that the internet when they are interested in something like this, they find like clues like this. That is a strange thing to say. Now, this was also another kidnapping case. The movie was.
I don't want to open up at YouTube.
So we don't want to play it. We don't want to get copyright strike, but we can quote we'll say the quote, I guess I should say. But that was also a kidnapping case where they were trying to find a woman that was, it was Buffalo Bill that did the kidnapping in that movie. So it's a very strange parallel to draw, but it sure enough was like the exact quote from the movie, because they were trying to find, it was the family they were interviewing. Mm-hmm. And how are you going to, on a 30-something plus year old movie, going to quote it almost word for word? And it's not verbiage that you would necessarily use in today's language. It was very different than. Savannah said in one of the most recent pleas, she was sitting there with her sister Annie, and I'm assuming, I haven't figured it out yet, but there's a gentleman in the video as well sitting next to Savannah. So Savannah, to paint the picture of the video, Savannah is in the middle, and she's got her piece of paper, and she's reading it. And I didn't mean to slam my phone there on the table, but so she has got a piece of paper. She's reading her speech, and whatnot, her plea. Annie is to the right of her, and then there's another gentleman, which I'm assuming at this point, I don't know for sure, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm assuming the person next to her would be the other brother, Cameron. That was my understanding from what I'm seeing here. But she had, in her speech, she said, Nancy is gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see. The quote from the Silence of the Lambs movie is, Catherine is gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see. The name is literally the only difference. Mm-hmm. That is so questioning. It makes you wonder why on earth. Now, here is another thing. So this also states, and I don't mean to interrupt you by any means, but it does say here, and take this with a grain of salt as well, people. I don't know this without fact. I would have to do research. But apparently that this recent abduction of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, is exactly 35 years to the day as Silence of the Lambs premiere release. You're kidding me. February 1st, 1991. What is the odd parallels of that? I mean, that is bizarre. It's just a complete
are we getting into conspiracy theory territory there?
A fact is a fact.
This is true.
It could be a coincidence, but that's a fact. I'm gonna look it up here. How bizarre. I mean, they say that life is stranger than fiction, and the events that go on in life, if you wrote a book about it, people would think it's absurd and that you wouldn't believe it. It's so unbelievable what happens in real life versus fiction. Right. According to Wikipedia here, the release date for Silence of the Lambs, it was released January 30th, 1991 in New York City. So not factual. Not down to the day. Not down to the day, but down to the month. And it was officially released by Orion Pictures on February 14th, 1991. So we can put that one to bed, the 30 years. Well, it's still to the month. It's in the month. Yeah, don't get me wrong there. Yeah, and then you do a speech that is. So I'm going to play devil's advocate on that one at the moment, not to, but if a person is so distraught over the circumstances that are happening, mm-hmm. she may have put in the facts of the case and she didn't know how to articulate what she wanted to say. She put these things into ChatGPT. That may have been something that it told her to say. Very possible. And it's not that she was drawing the power lines of that movie, but maybe ChatGPT was. I would like to, and I haven't watched it officially, but I would like to watch that recent video. The movie? No, of her speech. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, you played it earlier, didn't you? For me. I just played that quote. The quote. Yeah. Okay. We just played the quote. Okay. I thought it was side to side. I thought
we just played the quote
Okay.
of where it was referenced with the Silence of the Lambs.
But things like that spur conspiracy theories, and they, go lightning fast. Like, this is what happened. Like, can you believe it? And that's why the sensationalism really grows.
Yeah.
On this type of situation, that's just wild to me. So, the case is going to unfold further. We're going to do this one into a part 1 and a part 2. So I think that is where we will leave off on part 1, and we will talk to you guys in a few days for part 2.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.